Welcome again. In this particular video, we are going to see about how to implement an ordinary queue or a linear queue of integers using an array. In my previous video, I have defined that in case of a queue, to perform an insertion operation, that is, in order to perform an enqueue operation, we are supposed to use an end called as the rear end, and to perform a deletion operation. And we have defined the deletion operation as dequeue. To perform the dequeue operation, we are supposed to use the front end. With those things, we'll try to implement an ordinary queue or a linear queue of integers using an array. Now, to implement, let's assume that my size of queue is restricted to 5. That is, let size be 5. Now assume that this is my array. This is my array which I am using to implement a queue. As we all know that array is indexed from 0 up to size minus 1. Let me assume that my front end, let me denote the front end with F, which is used for performing the deletion operation, and my rear end, let it be denoted with R. Initial value of both F and R is initialized to minus 1. So note that this is the state of a queue wherein queue is empty. Now let us go for the insertion operation. As I told, this insertion operation is called as enqueue. To perform the insertion operation or the enqueue operation, we are supposed to use the rear end. So what we can do is, say for example, if I want to insert 10, onto this particular queue, I need to increment my rear end, and I need to assign the item at this particular position. So after performing insertion operation, my queue looks something like this, wherein R is now pointing to 0 and 10 is being inserted. Now, when we are performing the insertion operation for the first time, we need to update the front end also. Because after inserting one element onto queue, if I want to perform a deletion operation, we have defined that basically front end can be used to perform the deletion operation. So, after inserting the element for the first time on the queue, we need to update even the front end. So note that for the first insertion operation, we need to update the front end also. Now assume that I want to insert one more element. If I want to insert 20, now what we are supposed to do? Just increment front end. Front end was pointing to 0. Now front end will be pointing to, just increment your rear end. Rear end, instead of pointing to 0, it will be now pointing to 1, and you can assign the item. So in my queue, I will have two elements, 10 and 20. In this case, no need to increment front end. Front end will be as it is. So note that for the first insertion operation only, we need to update the front end. But for other insertion operation, we need to just update in the sense we need to just increment the rear end. Now on to this particular queue, assume that I have performed one more insertion operation. I want to insert 30 will be inserted here. If I want to insert 40 will get inserted here. Now after 5 insertion operation, let me assume that I have inserted 50 onto my queue. So this is my 5th insertion operation. My queue looks something like this. I will be having elements as 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. and my front end is pointing to 0th location, and my rear end is pointing to the last location. Now, onto this queue, is it possible to perform one more insertion operation? No. So, how to denote queue as full? Condition to denote queue full is if my rear end is having a value of R, in this case, R I can generalize it as if rear end is having a value of size minus 1. If rear is equal to size minus 1, then it implies I can't perform further insertion operation. So before inserting any element onto queue, the first and foremost important thing is we are always supposed to check whether rear end is pointing to size minus 1 or not. If rear end is pointing to size minus 1, then it implies queue is full. If not, I can perform the insertion operation. How to perform the insertion operation? First thing is update your rear end and then assign the element at that particular position. Now note that only important point to be noted is when we are performing the insertion operation for the first time. When we are performing the insertion operation for the first time, along with the rear end, we need to increment the front end also. Now with this, we can come up with a function. To perform the insertion operation. Let me write the function name as NQ. Argument is the element or the item to be inserted, and let me assume that the function is not going to return any value. So first thing is, first check for whether queue is full or not. What is the condition for queue to be full? If rear is having a value of size minus 1, printf queue is full. Else, if queue is not full, first thing is increment rear. Rear is equal to rear plus 1, and then assign queue of rear is equal to item. We'll declare all this rear, front end as well as this array queue as global variables. Now after performing this, as we are supposed to check in case if we are performing the insertion operation for the first time, that is if front is having a value of minus 1, I need to update the front end also. Front is equal to front plus 1. Close your else statement and close your function. Hope this is clear. This is about how to perform the insertion or the NQ operation on a ordinary or a linear queue. Now we'll move on to the deletion operation. Now assume that objective is to perform the deletion operation. Deletion operation is also called as DQ. Now assume that my queue is empty. On an empty queue, is it possible to perform a deletion operation? No. So first and foremost thing, before performing the deletion operation, first thing is we need to check whether queue is empty or not. So first thing is check whether queue is empty or not. If this is false, then only we can go for the deletion operation. How to check? Whether queue is empty or not? As we know that deletion is performed using front end, has to be performed using front end. Check for front end to be minus 1. So this is, I can check with front end. If front is having a value of minus 1, then it implies that queue is empty. If queue is not empty, if Q is having some elements in it, then I'll be one scenario wherein I have some 4 elements onto my Q. If there are 4 elements on my Q, this will be the front end and this will be the rear end. This will be the rear end. Now, if I perform a deletion operation, by the definition of Q, it says that I need to delete the element which was inserted first. The first element out of this 4 was a 10. So, what I need to do first is I need to delete the element pointed by front. That is, I need to delete this particular element 10 and I need to update my front end. Now my front end will be pointing to 20. Now if I perform one more deletion operation, what happens? 20 gets deleted and front end needs to be updated. That's what I have written. Delete the element pointed by front, and second thing is update or increment front. Now there is one special case. Even maybe in this case, after deleting 20, I can delete 30. Now after deleting 30, assume that I have deleted all the 3 elements. That is the first 3 elements from my queue. I am left out with only 40 in my queue. Now in this case, if I have deleted 10, 20 and 30, my front end will be pointing to 40. That is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. My front end is having a value of 3 and even my rear end is also having a value of 3. In the sense, whenever you are performing a deletion operation is this: delete the element pointed by front and then update or increment the front. This is quite fine if there are more than one element. If there is only one element, now if I perform a deletion operation here, now after deleting, if I just use this particular statement, that means delete the element pointed by front, 40 gets deleted and front gets incremented. Now in that case, what happens is front will be having a value of 4 and rear will be having a value of 3, something like this. Assume that after dividing 40, my rear end will be pointing here and my front end will be pointing to this location. Now if you see, this queue is empty, nothing is there. If nothing is there in my queue, it is always better to initialize the value of f and r to -1. So note that whenever there is only one element in the queue and that element gets deleted, on deleting, both the front end and the rear end should be initialized to -1. So in this case, I will just add one more condition. First thing is delete element pointed by front, whether it is in this case or whether it is in this case, I need to delete the element pointed by front. But before incrementing front end, I need to check whether f and r are same. If f and r are same, I need to initialize f and r to their initial value. If not, in this case, if f is pointing to 1 and rear is pointing to 3, or f is pointing to 2 and rear is pointing to 3, or if f is pointing to 1 and rear is pointing to 4, in that particular case, only front end should be updated. So here, I'll add one more condition. Delete the element pointed by front if front is equal to rear. If front is equal to rear, reinitialize both front and rear. If not, if this condition is not true, if this is false, you just update the front end. Hope this is clear. With this information, we can come up with a function to perform the deletion operation. Let me call the function name as tq dq. Return type of the function as void. Let me print the deleted function within. Let me print the deleted element within the function itself with no arguments. So first thing is I'll have a variable to hold the deleted element as a del. We know that before going for, whenever we are performing a deletion operation, we need to check whether Q is having some elements or not. If there are no elements in Q, then there is no meaning in performing deletion operation. So we'll check if front is having a value of -1, printf Q is empty. Else printf rather than directly printing, we'll store, okay, we'll have del is equal to Q of front. The element to be deleted is the element pointed by front end. Now print this, printf element deleted is %d, which is nothing but del. Now after deleting the element, I need to check if there was only one element in the queue. After deleting, I should reinitialize f and r to their initial values. So if front is equal to rare, I'll initialize front to -1 and equal rare to -1. If this condition is false, else I'll just update front end. Else front is equal to front plus 1. And close the else statement and close the function. This is about the deletion function. Quickly we'll go for the display function. I'll assume that this is my instance of Q where there are no elements. So if there are no elements in my Q, both F and R will be having a value of -1. I'll have one more instance wherein I will assume that I have pushed only 3 elements onto my Q, 10, 20, 30. So this is my front end and this will be my rear end. I'll take one more instance wherein I'll assume that there are all 5 elements in my queue, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So this is my front end and this is my rear end. Now if you see the first instance, if there are no elements in the queue, it is not possible to perform the display operation. So what we'll do, we'll directly come up with the function void display. So first I will write for this condition. If Q is empty, how to denote Q as empty? I'll just check if front is having a value of -1. If front is equal to -1, printf Q empty. Else printf Q content R. Now I have to write statement for this instance and this instance. If you see both of this instance, the content of the queue is bounded between front end to rear end. In this case, there are 3 elements. So front end is 10, next element is 20 and 30 is the last element which is pointed by rear end. Even in this case, the elements within my queue are being bounded between front end to rear end, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So I'll just use an for loop and I will iterate. For I is equal to, what is the value of initialization of I? I should be initialized to F. I less than or equal to R, I plus plus. Printf percentage D tax Q of I. Close for my else statement and close for my display. Hope this is fine. This is about the display function. Quickly we'll see the main function for the functions that we have discussed earlier. If you see, initially I have declared a macro to denote the size of my queue as 5. I have declared two ends, one as the front end used for deletion operation, and it has been initialized to -1. There is one more end as an integer which has been initialized to -1. They are called as rear end. Rear end is used for the insertion operation. There is a global array. There is a global array by name q of size 5. So in the main function, I have declared two variables. One variable by name item, that is the element to be inserted onto the queue, and one more variable ch for taking the decision. As this is a menu-driven program, what we are supposed to do? As it's clear here, whenever I type 1, I am supposed to perform the insertion operation. If I type 2, I am supposed to perform the deletion operation. If I type 3, I am supposed to perform the display. And if I type apart from 1, 2 and 3, okay, anything like 4, 5 and so on, the program should terminate. So initially I am reading the choice, what I need to do. So depending upon the value of ch that I am reading, so case 1, it is for the insertion operation. So as you see, after reading the element to be inserted, I am calling the function enqueue. Note that enqueue function was not returning anything. The return type was void. So I am just calling enqueue with the argument as item. Similarly, case 2, in case of case 2, I am calling the deletion function, that is the dequeue operation. As you have noted earlier, the dequeue operation, the dequeue function was not having any arguments. So I am calling dequeue with no arguments. So case 3, I am calling my display operation. Even display operation was not having any argument break. Next is default, wherein I am terminating the program. So this is the close for the switch statement. This close is for the for loop, and before closing the main function, I am having a return 0. Hope this is clear. Thank you.